This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, there you go.
Turn your minds down. Then you won't get that.
Yeah.
Okay, do it again, Dave.
And realistically, you don't need the volume on at all.
Hello?
You can turn it off. You can
Yeah, mute it.
mute your volume. Well, people are talking, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, Cheryl, we need you to,
But output is different.
yeah,
than
but
input.
you can do it.
I mean, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're coming through, when I talk, it's coming through your phone.
Yeah, I can. You're coming through my phone. Oh yeah.
Bruce,
It's coming through my computer too.
well, mute it.
Well, you need to, yeah, you need to mute the volume on your,
You should go to the volume off on your device.
because you don't need the volume on your device at all.
Mute it means when you talk slower, it won't hear the volume is on your device. So we're good now? We'll edit this part out. All right. This is the 25th of June, Vernon Hills Park District Board of Commissioners regular board meeting. This location has been open to the public per restored Illinois Phase 3 guidelines. Has not been open to the public, I'm sorry. Per restored Illinois Phase 3 guidelines for Executive Order 2020-707 in response to COVID-19. Members of the public may join this meeting remotely via GoToMeet.com in the following formats. From a computer, tablet, or smartphone, you go to https://global.gotomeeting.com/join/447243-621, or you may dial in by phone. In the United States, area code 646-749-3112. Access code 447-243-621. With that, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kessler. Commissioner Robbins. Commissioner Moline. Commissioner Blue. President Dorhoeffer.
Here. If we could, next item on the agenda is the omnibus vote agenda. Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and or not controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. Items under the omnibus vote agenda for this evening are the minutes of the annual board meeting dated May 28, 2020, and payables and payroll through June 25th, 2020 in the amount of $533,862.88. Do I have a motion to approve the omnibus vote agenda? Second? Roll call.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Moline.
Yes.
Commissioner Blue.
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler.
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the welcome to visitors and guests public comment period. Jeff, is there anyone that's phoned in?
Looking at the total here, nope, no one's
Seeing
phoned
as there's
in.
no one that's phoned in, next item on the agenda is the financial reports for the period ending May 31, 2020. Marla, are they on your file? Any changes or yet? Hi, how you doing? We're all good? Next item on the agenda is executive. Yes. Correct. But what's on file now is accurate. Next item on the agenda, reports of communication, Executive Director Jeff Fisher. Jeff?
So I'm gonna need a hard copy because Commissioner Robbins has my iPad, which has my report. So I need a copy of my report, which maybe you have a copy of, Bruce. Yeah. You want to read it for me? You're coming across. All right, thank you. We've been doing a lot of training, obviously, with a lot of the different facilities opening up and a lot of new programs that we've been putting in place. So a lot of training, getting people back on. I included a memorandum to you guys earlier this week on just an update with the capital bill. And so you have just an idea of what was allocated and proposed in the recent signing of the governor's budget back in late May. So you see the information that we've secured with that. Obviously, it's going to be a long time coming before any of those capital monies come our way. Lakeview is scheduled to reopen actually on Wednesday, July 1st. So that's a little changed from my report. So Family Aquatic Center opens on Saturday. We have a couple of action items on the agenda tonight with a utility tractor and then some water slide refinishing. Beaver Creek Park, if you haven't had a chance to drive by there and see that, it's a complete transformation and it looks great. Just a nice cooperative effort between the village and our Parks Department on getting that site resurrected. And I think our neighborhood's pretty pleased with the outcome from that park. We're going to be doing some parking lot repairs here in the near future. James will talk a little bit more about that in his report. He's been our go-to in working with the school district on coordinating that. Our farmers market started today. Amy's been just helping a lot with that and setting that up. Tom Ritter's been kind of overseeing it, but Amy did a lot of the back, just a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And we have 17 vendors out there today. We had 2 actually that couldn't make it today, but we have 17 scheduled and perhaps an 18th coming in next week. So a lot of good traffic today, which was really nice to see. And the vendors are really happy with that as well. So next Wednesday at 2:30, we have a scheduled prescribed tour of the new kindergarten building. So Pete Hannigan, the school superintendent, is going to walk us through that. So please let me know if you have any interest in attending that. Be happy to, share. I've been through it, and it's really a nice facility. Tom has been through it with Anna, our before and after school coordinator, with Jill Martin, who's their new principal. So they got an idea of kind of what the logistics are going to be as we roll things out for the fall with the use of our before and after school program. That is it for me. That would conclude my report. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Jim, yes. Yeah. July 1. So if you go to our web, we have a Lakeview Fitness page just updated today with all the specifics. You can also link it from our homepage. You can go to Lakeview Fitness on our homepage and it'll give you. But right now, because of phase 4, which we've entered, so we have the ability with 50 people or 50% of capacity. So what we have set up in our Group X classes, we're going to have 2 outdoor studios still, and we'll have our current one inside. We can hold about 15 people in each of those environments. Those you'll have to go to our Lakeview Fitness app. You got to download that. And that's all been pushed out to our membership today. And then you can block a time. Again, same thing what you've been doing in the past, but now we're going to be reactivating everybody's membership. So prior to this in phase 3, we had to charge $10 per visit for just outdoor Group X classes. And so now when we reactivate membership, people can use any of those classes. So we'll have a Group X schedule up tomorrow. And so people will be able to go online and do that. The only other thing we're going to be asking people for the fitness app to make reservation on is the swimming pool. And that's because we have 4 lanes. We can only have 1 person in a lane at a time. So we can only take like 4 swimmers. I think we can take probably, I think Joe's doing them, scheduling them on 45-minute sessions. Then we've got to remove people. We got to do some sanitizing. But the use of the cardio room and the freeway room is no reservations. We look at our attendance. We've never had more than 50 people in there at a time. So we're more than capable of accommodating the amount of people that might come in. So we're anxious to get back and open things up, and hopefully we have had, a number of people that have, through the email that went out today, that have opted out. They want to still keep their membership frozen. They're just not ready to come back yet. We understand that, but we won't really know the amount of people that are going to be active till we get things opened up and see what we're doing there. Our hours of operation are reduced. We are not open on Sundays. We're going to open at 6 a.m. We're going to close at 7:30 p.m. during the week. Except Saturdays, we're open from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. So again, reduced hours at least through the end of the summer, and then we'll just kind of look at things as things progress if we need to open up a little bit more.
Locker rooms, showers, are they gonna be open?
Yeah, those are all, locker rooms and showers are open. Again, we've James and I have been through that with Joe, and we've spaced everything out. So, locker 1, then we go to locker 7. There's a minimum of 6 feet in between each locker. And then those are the lockers that are not being used are locked, are zip tied and locked. You can't use them. So every locker, as you walk into the locker room, has an actual identification on the floor that this is a locker you can use. I think we have a total of, they're the same in both the men's and women's locker room. I want to say there's about 15 lockers available at any given time. In the showers, we have, I'll just call it the gang shower area, if you will. We have one in one corner, which is a handicap, and then the very far corner. So the others, all the heads are removed. You can't use them. And then we did the same thing with the individual private stalls, where we've made it so that it's accommodating. You can only use a couple at a time. With that, we are strongly encouraging our membership to come dressed and leave dressed, and shower, at home if they have to. We know that some people might not be able to, like if you're in a water exercise class, people are going to come in through the locker room and shower, and we want to make sure that they, have access to those as well. We have no drinking fountains. The hot tub, the steam room, the sauna, those are not allowed to be open.
So for the weight room, cardio room, are you requiring people to wear masks while they're in there?
They do not have to wear a mask. We ask them when you're doing your exercise, most people won't. If you get up and leave to sanitize or go get it, whatever, fill your bottle of water, and whenever you must wear a mask if you're gonna be out. Our staff, all of our staff will be masked on the fitness floor. We're required to have a fitness floor attendant every minute we're open. So we have that scheduled. Obviously, we have desk attendants. We'll have a manager on duty every minute that we're open. So we're working shifts on that too, as well. Less Group X classes. We're not bringing back a lot of the instructors slowly. We're trying to do that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Jeff? Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is Finance and HR Superintendent Marla DeSica. Marla.
Good evening. In prior years, we would have had our prevailing wage ordinance. We don't need to do that anymore, but now you can simply go to our website and go right to the Illinois Department of Labor's website, and you can get the applicable wages by county. So that information is always available then, and it's the most up-to-date prevailing wage information. We've had to have a quick turnaround once we decided to offer camp and open the aquatic center. There's been a flurry of hiring activity. So we hired about 35 counselors and 60 lifeguards and pool attendants, and that number is still growing. Also now that we'll be opening the pool in Lakeview. Kudos to Debbie. She's been entering a lot of new employees, and while all working without our part-time staff that we're used to having. So everyone's doing a lot of extra work, and we appreciate the time that they're putting in. Same thing for Jessica. I really want to give her a big thank you. She has had to take in so much COVID-19 information and then put it in usable form for our staff, either training, and we've listed here all of the trainings she's provided for staff, as well as put together programs for opening Lakeview, the Aquatic Center, childcare, farmers market. There's been, specific requirements put together for all of those programs, for vendors entering the building, for our residents entering the building. So she's really put together a lot of information. And then the second set of information has been facility preparation, everything we've done in our facilities to be ready to have people enter. Now that is my report tonight. Anyone have any questions? Yes, Jeff.
Have you sit down with the new accountant pictures who are when you're in
Unmute, Bruce. You have to unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the question. Yeah. Marla, have you sat down with the new CPA firm to talk about any pre-tax, pre-audit planning or?
We have emailed quite extensively and gotten, we did a pre-audit meeting to set all of our dates and expectations. We have our first a one-day preliminary meeting on Tuesday, next Tuesday. They're going to have 3 people in our building for the whole day, and they're going to collect kind of their opening set of information, and then they'll be back in I believe end of July for where they're here for more like 4 days. Yeah. So it's already it's back to way it should be. It's right. Like it's so nice to feel like it's being handled as they said it would. They're always right on top of things, so it will be a much different experience.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Marla? Thank you very much. Next time is Recreation Superintendent. Jeff, I understand you're going to provide this.
Well, again, I don't have my you want me to give up for Joe and Tom is working the farmers market as we speak. So, and Joe is at Lakeview tonight. They've got classes going on, so he's there, closing up tonight. That's why both of them are absent. Thank you, Bruce. So let's start with, there's some cancellations. We've had to do the family camp out at the Aquatic Center. There was a high school, the lacrosse tournament we've canceled. We had a good turnout with the movie, the drive-in movie. Because it was free, we had about 30% of the registrants not show. So we're working, Tom's looking at doing another movie, a drive-in movie sometime this summer. Remember, Cheryl, is it July? 2 dates? But we're thinking about charging this next time around, looking at that. Our camps that were modified, we're just at capacity. We have a preschool camp, we have a camp for K through 3, and then a 4 through 7. Those are grades. They're all at capacity. So that's been a real good sign for us, and cannot thank Hawthorne School District enough for letting us use Elementary North as a go-to site. And then the other main location is here at Sullivan. The little learners, they are up to, I think, 32 families that have returned. So we got about maybe 70% of our child care staff that are back. And then we just, obviously, we got to get higher numbers, and then the ratio would require us to bring back some of the other teachers there. And then just, we're getting into this phase 4 with the Aquatic Center, which I talked about a little bit earlier. We're hoping to get some kind of an answer from IDPH as soon as possible. on just getting us into this next phase. That's been one of the absent conversations with the recent phase 4. Dave, if you don't mind, can I just continue with Joe's report unless anybody has any questions on Tom's?
Any question on Tom's? Please go ahead with Lakeview Fitness.
So we mentioned, I think we gave a lot of information just from Commissioner Ballou's inquiry about Lakeview Fitness and the preparation we've been doing to open that. The Group X classes, the outdoor Group X classes are going well. Some are more popular than others, but they're doing, I think they're doing fabulous in terms of what we've been going through. Our personal training is been outstanding. We have 3 trainers back, and they're doing 4 and 5 visits a day, every day. So that's been really good. You see, we talked about some of the hours earlier. This Airfix unit, we have 2 of those in the facility, which has been really received well in terms of our posting of what that does, and it's a purification system. It also has a sanitation or sanitizing element to it that is really beneficial. So that was a really good investment. And then you just see Joe has we did a personal training flash sale, which produced a good amount of revenue on that end. So personally, I just want to thank Lacey and Joe for their enormous commitment from day one with getting us into phase 3 and opening. And between the 2 of them, I mean, they're putting in 60, 70 hours a week with just the 2 of them working. They're doing all the maintenance, they're doing the setup, they're doing the takedown. Stefan, who's our facility maintenance technician, he's been just fantastic over there and helping them get things set up every day. And I know Dave Swike and James have been over there quite a bit and helping with just setup. So it's just been a great team effort. Really proud of our staff and what they've done to keep this thing alive and well when most of the other facilities, workout facilities in our area have been closed. I think, it gives us a little bit of a leg up. So that's all I got on that. I'd be happy to answer any questions for Joe as well.
Any questions for Jeff, for Joe?
Actually, I one more question. I think I saw that basketball is going to be open. Is there restrictions on that? Are they playing 5-on-5, full court, all that kind of stuff? Is all okay?
Yeah.
Breathing and
Yeah, so per the guidelines, I mean, they have an outdoor recreation classification or category, and they allow you to have those activities.
inside.
Inside and outside. We opened our basketball courts and our sand volleyball courts last week.
Right, I knew that was outside, but I think the indoor courts are going to be open.
Yeah, so Jay is working on putting out some information on just, open gym. We're trying, I think it's Monday and Wednesday nights, we're looking at doing open gym. And Tuesday and Friday, we have table tennis, and that's starting on July 7th, first Tuesday after the holiday. And then he's looking at potentially trying to do some volleyball. Usually volleyball in the summer they're outside, so we don't get a lot, but we're going to look at it. We've got adult karate going on, which is huge for us. They're on Thursday nights, so they're here tonight, and then they're on Saturdays, and that registration's been doing well too. So yeah, you ready to play some hoops, Cindy, or get in there?
Where do we stand with adult softball?
Jay's working on potentially doing a combined season, like starting like after, again, 4th of July. He's been communicating with teams and having it bleed into the fall. So doing like a July, August, September kind of season, and just combining it all. So he's trying to pull some things together on that.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next item on the agenda is Park Superintendent James Kim. James?
Good evening. As Commissioner Kessler alluded to, shelter restrooms and basketball courts and volleyball courts and futsal court at Hartman are open. Playgrounds and outdoor fitness exercise station will remain closed until further notice. For residents, we've had an increased vandalism since this COVID began. So I would just like to ask residents if you see something to say something. A lot of it's needless, and a lot of it I think is just people are just bored. District 73 kindergarten playground is finished. We're going to hand over all the paperwork, audits, and necessary documents to the school district as they will be taking it over. As Jeff alluded to, the project at Beaver Creek is complete. 30 new trees, a new sign with a landscape bed, and a restored shoreline are some of the new features. Land stewardship contractor has been on site and will continue to monitor and treat invasives as they come up until May of 21. We request their services for the next fiscal year. Asphalt repairs. Contractor has completed asphalt repairs to the basketball courts at Hawthorne Club, Century Park, and Peterson Park. And they also repaired the tennis courts at Grosse Points. In addition, they were supposed to start this week, but it got pushed back by a couple of days. Some walking path repairs are scheduled for Grosse Point, Hartman, Kitty Corral, Sugar Creek, Sullivan Woods, Hawthorne Club, Hawthorne Melody, and a little bit of the path over here at the skate park. They're minor repairs. It's not anything that needs to be closed except for Sullivan Woods will need to be closed for a whole day. I know there's a lot of commuters out there, so just please stay tuned for signs, postage, and social media websites. Jeff also talked a little bit about the parking lot improvements here at Sullivan Center. I got word from the contractor that we are set for July 16th, 17th, and 18th. There is some work that the school district had part of their bid, and there's some work that the school district will pick up. Thank you to them for that. Some of it is just parking lot improvements as we have already budgeted for. I just want to thank McLeod Aquatics. They applied for a grant to do some research on a new product, a Little Bear, Big Bear Lake, and it has worked immensely. It is very clear, except for the maybe 2 feet along the shoreline. They use an experimental application to keep down a lot of the aquatic weeds. And we just hope that the research you're doing can help develop future products and then maybe they can use for us. A note about Go Green, Vernon Hills, Lincolnshire, and Swalco. A couple of items that I've been asked to share from Swalco. Textile drop-off in our parking lot and everywhere else in Lake County are open right now. So if you have spring cleaning and you'd like to drop off clothing, please take a look at Swalco's website to see where the drop-off locations are. The Reuse a Shoe program is starting again. Sullivan Center is a drop-off for the Reuse a Shoe. So again, if you're doing spring cleaning. And last, Swalco is assisting our park districts for a USDA grant for composting community gardens. We're focusing mainly at Indian wood gardens. We've had a couple of issues the past years about plants just stunting growth sometime in mid-July. So we're hoping that the additional composting will help get people up over that hump and possibly get something good harvest in October. This grant is put on by the USDA and they're going to provide more language and guidelines as it comes out. And then they are hosting a solar panel virtual meeting tonight. Go Green, Vernon Hills, Lincolnshire. It's mainly about solar panels for residential, but they've asked for some information for our solar panel project over at the 1400 Indianwood facility. And on that note, we are anticipating going live with our solar panel project July 9th. ComEd is scheduled to shut off the power so that the contractor can hook up the interconnection to the grid. And then hopefully in the afternoon of July 9th, we'll start producing power for the third party and we'll be off the grid probably all summer if this continues. Governor Pritzker announced several $1 million for a 319 Clean Water grant, Clean Water Act grant. I was looking to apply for that, working with Dave Brown and Lake County SMC, mainly for Hawthorne Melody Park, which we did budget to have cleared, which we will have a neighborhood meeting about. We're hoping that their dollar for dollar contribution or up to 75%, maybe that's something that we can look into. And lastly, there are 2 staff recommendations regarding slide maintenance at the FAC and equipment purchase. And that concludes my report. If there's any questions.
Any questions for James? Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is Marketing and Communications Manager, Cheryl Human. Cheryl?
Good evening. Our gold medal video was submitted on time. I hope you've all had a chance to watch it. It's on our homepage as a slide. Just click on the slide and you'll see it. Thank you to Cassidy Reinhardt for doing a really nice job on that video. Our fall program guide is just about complete. It will be done next week and then off to the printer. Residents will expect to see it in their mailboxes the week of July 20th. There's been a lot of communication to our community almost on a daily basis. I've relied heavily on social media and email marketing for all the different changes that have been going on. Also, a lot of website updates. So I'm not going to go through everything I've done. You can kind of see it. Today, one did go out about what will be happening in phase 4 in email. It's also on our website. There's also a slide. So it's in 3 different places. If you haven't been able to see it, just go to our homepage and it'll be right there. Our farmers market, thank you to Amy. We've worked together a lot about our farmers market, so hopefully everybody has seen it. And Amy has taken over doing the updates on that website, so thank you, Amy, for doing that. Really, that's it. My days are filled with just talking to people. As soon as one of those emails go out or social media, I'm talking to a lot of people. So it's been good, and I'm hoping I'm keeping everybody informed on what they need to know. And that's my report.
Any questions for Cheryl? Kind of a Cheryl / how was the farmers market attended?
Well, this is the first time I've actually been to the farmers market, and I told it was quite well.
Good.
I think we probably saw 50 people.
Really?
I went to it and I went a number of times last year and I thought the selection was great, a lot more fruits and vegetables than we had at this time last year. So there was a change in some of the produce providers. And yeah, I was shocked when I pulled up today around 3:45 and it was really good crowd.
Good. Next item on the agenda is communications committee reports. There are none. Next item would be board correspondence. We have received none this month. Unfinished business. We have no unfinished business this month. We'll run through new business. Ordinance 4-20, an ordinance declaring as surplus and authorizing the sale or other conveyance of surplus personal property of the Vernon Hills Park District, Lake County.
You got to flip this over. Track the memo estimate first.
That's okay. Keep going.
Lake County, Illinois. So I have a motion to approve ordinance 4-20. Second. Discussion. Yeah. Commissioner Kessler.
I don't have
Hit your volume while you guys are talking, make sure you unmute yourself.
So I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but when I was looking at the numbers between the 2 quotes, is that what we're looking at between the 2 vendors?
Yes. Well, right now
we're selling surplus.
I'm sorry.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kessler,
Yes.
Commissioner Meline,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Commissioner Baloo, President Dorhofer.
Yes.
Okay, now will you go to C first, please?
Next item on the agenda is utility tractor and production mower purchase recommendation. Motion for the purchase of utility tractor and production mower to be awarded to Martin Implement in the amount of $53,834.05. Anyone?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Kessler.
So this is the one I wanted to bring up. Looking at the 2 quotes, the other one was a little bit lower. And I saw that you wanted to go with this one because of their maintenance ability.
Yes.
If I'm reading this correctly. But we're buying the exact same items between either place, correct?
Yes.
And do we have it serviced anywhere? If we bought it from one place, can we service from somebody else, or does that not?
Yes, you can, but it's kind of full I guess.
Is that not?
I
Okay.
mean, it's not from a business, but we prefer to go back to the vendor that we purchased from to make any mistakes.
I guess I'm thinking of it like a car. If you buy a car at one place, you can go anywhere to have it serviced. Is that like this? I don't know this equipment.
It's similar, yes, over long term, but if usually there's something wrong right off the bat, it's like a brand new car. Usos has not been the best at turning things around in an expedited time, if you will. So we feel that Martin does have capabilities. They have several full-time mechanics, and that's all they do. It's not a person who dabbles in mechanics and does other things and does multiple things at the shop. So we felt that the $5 or money was worth for that really.
It just seemed like a pretty large amount, and I didn't know if you felt that strong about their service end of it.
Yes, they've been awesome at service.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call,
Commissioner Moline,
Yes.
Commissioner Baloo,
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler? Yes. Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
President Dorhoeffer?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the FAC water slide refurbishing project recommendation. Can I have a motion awarding IPS Incorporated slide refurbishing project for $14,000?
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Commissioner Kessler.
So is there any possibility to push the work until the spring? So the work is closer to when you're opening it, so we're not doing all this work and then having it sit for a whole season, and it won't be you're gonna still have to do a cleaning and things like that come that spring. I guess I'm just raising the question, can we push the work back so it's all fresh and clean and all right for next season?
Yes, we can, but spring is unpredictable. A lot of times late July, August has been very dry. So they're basically painting the slide with the gel coat. So right now is the best time, and we're not using the slide this summer, so it has a long time to cure.
My guess would be their bid's gonna be larger too. You know, they're.
Right now, they're hungry for work, yes.
Yeah, next spring, everybody's gonna wanna get their stuff fixed at the same time.
They're hungry for work right now. Next spring, probably there's gonna be more people doing this, and they'll be able to pick and choose, probably drive the price up.
One other point, just, this work has to be done with the right weather conditions. Okay, so May would traditionally be that month. This May would have probably been impossible to do it with all the moisture and the rain, and May has traditionally become the rainy month now. So trying to do something like this pre-season would be quite a challenge.
James, how long does it take?
5 to 7 years.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
Commissioner Baloo?
Yes.
Commissioner Moline? President Dorhoeffer?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the Family Aquatic Center update. Jeff, could you please provide us an update to the Aquatic Center?
Yeah, so here we are on Thursday, June 25th, and we're still waiting on an answer from IDPH on phase 4 guidance for swimming. You saw earlier in the week when they issued guidance for day camps, for fitness centers, for golf, for tennis, for indoor and outdoor recreation, but nothing for swimming. So, it's one of those things where every entity within our profession is trying to get some feedback from IDPH. And just kind of backing up, even when we were in phase 2 going to 3, they were a little tardy in terms of putting out some kind of a message with swimming. So we are ready to open in 2 days, our aquatic center, and right now we are scheduled to do lap swimming. We have some water walking. You got to reserve those spaces. We have some water exercise classes that we are putting out there for people to register for. And then we have our swim team that's going to be used in FAC. So when we presented this to the board last month for background, we had 1 week in there where we had June 27th through July 4th, where we thought we'd still be maybe in this phase 3 based on IDPH's prior tardiness to deliver an update. So we're just every day, we're hoping that we can get some answers. We've done registration reservations on lap swimming. That's doing okay. We can only take 6 people on the hour. But there are dates that, some are full and some are at 3 and some are at 4. The water walking is a little light. We start the water exercise on the week of July 6th, so people are still signing up for that. So kind of just, that's the update. Our staff is ready to go. We've done multiple walkthroughs with James's staff in terms of just laying out. If you walked out to FAC, and I'd be happy to, if anybody wants to take a walk after the meeting, I can walk you out there. We have all our canopies up. We've actually painted in chalk paint areas that are designated for families to come and bring in their own chair or bring in their own towel and sit. And there's obviously a distancing factor that we have put in place there. So we feel very comfortable that there's enough space to accommodate if we sell out, 50. Hopefully that's what the number is going to be with IDPH, that we can have 50 people in each. Now, look, the truth is, if this thing gets into mid-July and we don't have an answer yet, I think we're going to be coming back to the board saying we can't survive on just lap swimming, for 3 or 4 weeks into this, and then we're going to have to, come back to you and make a decision. But I feel pretty good that they're going to come up with something. I just don't know when it's going to be. So that's the update. Yeah, any questions?
Any questions for Jeff? I think we're all in agreement, Jeff. So next item on the agenda is Rib Fest 2020. Unfortunately, I think our decision has been made for us. Board feedback. The way it stands right now, we would have to be under the 50 person, and I just don't see that being feasible. Commissioner Moline?
Yeah, unless there's some way to do 50, 50, 50, 50. I don't,
Yeah.
cordon it off and you can't cross the.
Even if you do that, it's 200 people. We're getting 2,000 people a night.
Yeah, never mind.
That's a tough one.
Sorry.
No. Any ideas are great right now. Commissioner Kessler, Commissioner Robbins? I think we're all in agreement then it's too hard to survive. So I think we're going to have to temporarily suspend for 2020 Rib Fest this year. And that's with a very heavy heart, we have to do it. But so next item on the agenda, Commissioner comments. Commissioner Blue. Commissioner Moline. Commissioner Robbins. Commissioner Kessler. Commissioner Torp, right? I have something real quick. We are very aware of the different phases that are being presented to us by the state of Illinois. And in some cases, they don't make sense to us as well as they don't make sense to you. Opening the playgrounds absolutely is one of those things that we're not sure we understand, but that is the fact that we have not been given clearance to open the playgrounds yet. And while it may not make any sense to you, and it may not make sense to us, until we receive the information from the state of Illinois that the executive order allows us to open up the playgrounds, they have to remain closed. So I apologize for the inconvenience. It didn't have to happen, but until the state of Illinois gives us a direction on the executive order, they will remain closed. So we ask you to remain patient, vigilant, and stay off the playground until such a time that we get all the kids out there in a safe manner. So with that, I have a motion to enter into closed session. So to section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss an appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel for the district.
So moved.
Second? Members of the public may join the open session when resumed remotely via gotomeetings.com in the following formats: https://global.gotomeeting.com/join/4/join/479-323-133, or you can also dial in the United States at 872-240-3212. The access code is 479-323-133. We are now going into closed session, and going into closed session will be Commissioners Kessler, Robbins, Baloo, and Moline, Executive Director Fugro, and myself. And Marla Zeke, roll call, please.
Commissioner Blue,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Commissioner Moline, Commissioner Kessler,
Yes.
President Dorhofer.
Yes, we are now in closed session.
Jeff, you'll turn the recording off? Okay.